everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and this is a Scrap Squad Sunday being filmed on Saturday. And Saturday, as you know, I'm really into Calvinball. It kind of dominates my life every March. And today they returned all of the rules that had been deleted, and at an online live crop that we did, a 2-hour crop, we added, I'd say, over 20 more new rules. So I painstakingly created a layout that had all the possible points. It wasn't monochromatic, and it wasn't my first layout in the library. A few other things that get you points that it was not. And I didn't have any memorabilia, and that's unfortunate because I know I have a copy of the plane ticket from flying to the event that was pictured there, and that would have counted for my memorabilia point, so shame on me. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, even though I have the Calvinball rules right here, actually that's last night's challenge item from Secret Not Secret. These are the Calvinball rules. I'm not going to consult them during the making of this video. I'm going to do it from memory, and I've got a bowl of some miscellaneous things that I know get me points. There may be duplicates in there, and a lot of things may be too big or might not fit with the theme, or the colors might not go, which is highly unlikely because there's going to be every color in the universe here. Let me get my tweezers handy. Okay, so the photo I'm using is of this adorable little puppy, and she's most adorable when she's like this, sound asleep. So I'm gonna kind of tear this. I tear photo paper very easily most times. I was hoping that this is glossy paper, and I usually work with matte. And the reason I'm tearing it is that's my son's leg, and I really don't want that to be a major part of the photo, but I couldn't just kind of straight out crop it. But I can kind of tear around there. Then I'm going to place it on that matting that actually has a very faint musical, like sheet music on it. It's this, and so that gets me a point. It's also got scallops. This is from a Glitz design. I forget the name of it, but don't we miss Glitz design? It was wonderful stuff. And this is ombre, and ombre gets you a point. So I can kind of place this on here, maybe with some foam behind it. Let me do that now. And then I'll get to the business of putting on hearts. And as I do each heart, I'll tell you why that heart was chosen. No heart was chosen randomly, just for the heck of I like the color or the pattern on it. So I think I'll do that, and I'll lay that across there eventually. I've got foam here, and I may do another layer of foam just to give it kind of a strong base there. I'm going to put some up at the top too. I don't want it to go all the way to the top because I may be trying to sneak some things in there. Okay, so one of the points I'm going to just kind of do this as I go along. Just put some glue. I'm not going to stitch these, but I'm going to glue them down kind of in the center, and after it's all over, I'm going to draw a faux stitching with this ruler. And then I will curl the edges up so it kind of gives you the effect that stitching would give. And I'm eyeballing that. Let me get the photo cluster kind of in there. I'll do it that way. I'll get it. Well, I can't draw the, if I have it there, I can't draw the line. I'm going to just, again, eyeball. This heart was chosen because it's a geometric pattern paper, and that gives me a point. I actually have another geometric pattern paper right here that I didn't need to have. That doesn't get me any extra points if I have it in there twice. So that can go here. Dinosaurs get me a point, so that's why that's there. Next, let's see again where I'm going with this. And I'm going to consult the original. I'm filming. Okay, there. Okay, I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna kind of do this. Okay. I'm filming. But what'd you get us?
You remember these?
Oh yeah, New York Seltzer. I love that stuff. Yeah. Very good. Okay. So we have one member of the family who will venture out to the grocery store, and we live near a store called Fresh Market that is wonderful, and its shelves are a lot better stocked than some of the other more standard grocery stores. Okay, so let me do this. This one has an anchor, so it's nautical themed. This one, as I said, was chosen because it was geometric, but it's going to mostly be covered by other embellishments. This is wood grain. We get a point for that. Stripes. We get a point for pie. That point was added on Pi Day 3/14. And this one is the gingham or plaid point. This one is tickets point. This next one is a piece of my art. I did some watercolor, some playing around with color burst, which are similar to brushos. And I got some of the ink or the watercolor on a stencil, and I turned the stencil over, and this was the negative of it, the outline of it. So I kind of liked that, and we get a point for stenciling and a point for watercolor. This is also watercolor. We get a point for ombre. The background kind of ombres down, and this purple ombres, it may not be necessary because it could also count as my purple point. This one's on here because it's balloons, and we get points for balloons, and it also has yellow and orange and pink, and we get points for all of those. This is a purple watercolor splotch, and I'm probably going to put some other embellishments here. I don't need purple, but I kind of liked it. There's a teal one coming in from the side there. This is text that is in a typewriter font, and it's in gold foiling. And this has houses, and we get points for gold foil, and we get points for typewriter font. We get points for houses. And we get point for multicolor titles. So my title has come straight out of an Amy Tangerine book. And there's a little hedgehog in there. There's some citrus fruit. There's an avocado. All get points now. There's a camera here, and it happens to be purple. There's another hedgehog and a house. All kinds of fun things, and there's even a multicolor alpha. But I'm going to use this. This is a clear sticker, and I'm going to kind of do it right across here. I thought about mounting it on white and fussy cutting it and then popping it up, but I think I'm gonna just leave it this way. Okay, now I'm gonna start embellishing. Let's see if I can kind of pull that down just the way the, okay. We get point, well, actually, I don't want to, I keep wanting to glue that down. Let's do the fake stitching. And I'm hoping these kind of sort of line up. I didn't draw a straight line ahead of time to use as a guideline, and this is going to end up looking a little bit sloppy, I think, but it's not meant to be a perfect, if I were doing a prom layout like I did for my granddaughter's prom the other day, I might worry about it a little more. I did a fairly good job of lining those up. And this is a lot less time and less dangerous to someone on blood thinners than hand stitching, and a little bit easier than pulling out my sewing machine and threading it, because I happen to know last time I used it I left it pretty short on thread. Okay, let me do, now there's going to be a little bit of a change in elevation here because most of these are pattern paper, but when we get to my artwork, that's all done on watercolor paper. And so I have to be careful when I go up to it, like this next one. I can just kind of go up to it and then stitch on top of it. It doesn't have to bridge, but that actually takes, it requires me to pay attention. And maybe that's not always been my forte. Let's see. You can ask my elementary school teachers, except I'm thinking they might all be dead, so you'll never know. Let's see. We're almost done here. I love this layout so much. I probably will do, this is going to be kind of a tongue-in-cheek and with Calvinball points tacked on. And it's not going to be what I call a pretty layout. When I do, I'd like to do this over again as a pretty one. And I've got some really beautiful prom pictures of my granddaughter. I scrapped one the other day. Let me get this kind of pressed down. And this guy stands up because I have it on the inside of the foam, and I kind of wanted that, but I'm not sure I like it absolutely right now. Okay. I'm gonna say one thing here is that I've got some fussy cut flowers. These are Cocoa Vanilla Studios, and I thought about doing a something here with those. Let me see. I'm not going to use that one. That one doesn't lend itself to that corner. Where did the other one go? Okay, right here. And this has that kind of teal color. Okay. How's that? Okay, I'm gonna put this one in first. And it'll be sitting kind of up on that platform. And this one's gonna go in next. And I'll kind of curve it that way so that that angles out. Okay, that works. I can still see the tickets here. Don't want to hide that. One of the ways you get points is with sunglasses, and I kind of like and another way is with the star. And I have, I think, a star punch here, and I thought I might punch a star out of one of the lenses and then place the lens on top of one of these papers. And I'm not sure which one yet. I want to save this one for some journaling. I think I'm not going to like this anywhere. I'm going to discard that, and I'm going to fussy cut some sunglasses here, really tiny, and kind of fit them in. That animal print on those other sunglasses was kind of jarring with the pretty colors from the Dear Lizzie collection and the Amy Tangerine that I'm using. So, just kind of, it kind of looked bleh to me. So, look, that's a really bad job of fussy cutting. I'm gonna discard that too and go back to another one that kind of stands out. Here we go. One that I can actually see when I'm fussy cutting. Don't you love seeing someone fussy cutting tiny things, not once but twice? Okay. They've got butterflies on the list twice. One of them had been deleted, and it's come back, and they had put it back on, so that was there. So it's on there twice now, and if I do 2 butterflies, I get 2 points. So I'm going to do that, and I've got let's see, glitter is one of the points that was added today, and I've got some, and they're puffy stickers that are on there as well. So I have some puffy, glittery butterflies. I'm going to decorate up this little wood grain star with one. I think there's a really, really tiny one. I only get 1 point. You'll laugh at this. One of the items we get points for on our layouts is toilet paper, just because of all the toilet paper shortages. And so what I have done, I've taken just one, I'm not wasting a lot of toilet paper. I've taken this one sheet and I kind of pleat it up, and let's see, I'm gonna staple it and kind of stuff it in a place that doesn't really show too much light. I'll put a little glue on it if the glue will cooperate. One of the things I had thought I would be doing this weekend is going to my local scrapbooking store to pick up some more of that wonderful Nouveau adhesive, and of course they've closed their doors, and they are the store that Diane Reevely is going to be teaching a class coming up in May. No one knows whether that's actually going to be able to happen or not. Okay, so that's kind of, I'll be able to turn, now that I'm sure that adhesive has dried, I won't turn that one too much. I go here, let me kind of turn these up. I'm not finished embellishing, but I kind of wanted to see when they're turned over, that may guide me for the placement of an embellishment maybe underneath as opposed to on top. And this watercolor paper doesn't bend as easily, so it's not gonna have the same effect. I'll get this one turned over, and I may put something on these to hide the fact that they're not really on there straight. And that's kind of okay, because there's plenty to add for Calvinball points. I'm going to add a few things to this cluster here. Let's lay out some of these. This is a doily, and I'm going to kind of cut a little triangle of it and maybe try to insert it. Well, let's see. Here we go. I'll do it like that and kind of insert it like this so that you can see it barely tucked in there. And I'll put a little bit of glue to make sure it stays there. Let me guide that in by its little holes. Okay, perfect. It's enough to show, and you get the, I pulled it out with my sticky tweezers. Okay, just a tiny bit of glue there. Let me try to get that back in. I'm gonna lift that guy. Okay, that works. And I may add a bit of bling right there to kind of draw your eye to it with its sparkle. Okay, I have a, one of the points is under C, and I've got this dolphin that I may put on a pop dot and have it kind of looking up over the puppy dog. I'll do a cluster here, but not enough coverage that I lose my musical notes. That's also watercolor and ombre. We get a point for lace, and this is a piece, and one for snowflake. This is a piece of lace that was in snowflake shape. So I get both of those points for it, and I'm going to kind of use it maybe as a basis for a couple other embellishments, maybe right in here. I won't let it cover much. I won't cover all of it. There is a gnome point and a toadstool point, and I have this little gnome on a toadstool. It was a free image on the internet. So I'm just going to cut him out. I could not find any gnomes in any of my paper collections. I have toadstools from Vicky Booten and from Paige Evans. I think it was Truly Grateful. But I had no gnomes. And I know Vicky Booten had a Christmas gnome cut file. Let's see, where are my foam dots here? Put that there and kind of layer him over the snowflake / lace. It looks like I don't have the dot through the hole, so let's try that again with the dot through the hole, and it should work. It should stay on there better. Okay, that works. Now there's a frog point, and I thought here's where I might, well, I'll tell you what I can do is I can put a dot. Let's put, this is a frog that I had some digital artwork of little tiny palm trees, and I brought the frog into my word processing system and pulled in the palm tree artwork. So I made a frog with palm trees. There is a point for photo corners, so I have these pretty teal ones. There's another point for silver foiling, and these have silver foil. I've already covered that corner. I don't really want to use both of them. Yeah, why don't I use both of them on the top corner? It does, the rule says corners, so just in case, I'll go ahead and use that one. It looks like I might need a little bit of foam to prop that up, so I'll cut a piece of foam, and I'm not going to, there's a lot of sticky stuff on the back of it. I'm not going to put any adhesive on the foam because there's it's really just there as a prop, not as an adhesive. Okay, I've got a tiny little wood veneer feather, and we get a point for feather and a point for wood veneer. I don't have any other wood veneer on here, and I'm not planning to put any other feathers on here. Where should I put this guy? I'm gonna maybe kind of tuck it in right there by the toilet paper. Feathers and toilet paper. I'm not sure what kind of connection that makes. There's a book point, and I've got this book from Chamel's field trip line, and I thought I might also kind of combine that. Let's see, I can put the book up here by the pie, kind of tucked behind it because you can still see what it is. And I'm going to put this feather, or this camera, maybe here. And it's vellum, so we get a point for camera and a point for vellum. So on today, we can double dip. We weren't able to do that. I think it was day before yesterday. I'll do this here. Okay, and let's see. I think I have in here an enamel dot, and I can take this enamel dot and put it on the lens of that camera. Let me pull it out enough so this enamel dot will show. I get a point for this enamel dot, and okay, that works. We get a point for a cat, and oh, there are the sunglasses. You know what? I kind of don't like how these sunglasses look. I'd rather have something else there. So I'm going to pull those off. It's torn the paper, and that's okay with me. I'm going to go like that. Butterfly's not big enough, but I have a butterfly that is. Let's do this. I need to be sure it's one that's glittery. So there, that works. Okay, the cat with jumping out of the birthday cake with sunglasses and wearing a party hat. It gets several things. There, first of all, there are citrus fruits lined up down here. They're lemons. So I don't have to put citrus fruits anywhere else. And I think I have an orange or something somewhere. I thought since this this gingham was a little bit plain, I thought I might put the kitty cat there. We're supposed to, in these crazy times, we're supposed to do a medical or first aid kind of symbol. And I made these Band-Aids. This one was with some artwork that we bought in Australia, and then this is some Aboriginal art. This is some rainbow art. We're supposed to have a rainbow, and I just as soon have a rainbow Band-Aid, right? There's something of a rainbow there. Where can I put my Band-Aid? Maybe just tucked in, maybe right there. Okay. I don't really want it to be a big deal, but, and thankfully no one's needed any medical care since all this began. I had a routine procedure that I moved, and that was perfectly fine. We get a point for a snowman, and of course at this stage of the game, the snowman has absolutely no bearing on anything going on. But I could maybe put him down here. I'll let this this horizontal piece, you're not seeing the whole thing. I'll let this horizontal piece be something of a shelf. That way the embellishments that I'm putting on that are really random and for Calvinball points and may make no sense to anyone else, it kind of can get lined up along it. Okay, I've got this for a musical symbol. It's got a guitar and it's a tab. I don't need a musical symbol, but I do need a tab because I've got the musical notes right there. Let me put a little bit of foam behind this and put it up there. It's a nice punch of color on top of that geometric print heart. And so for that reason, I like it just from a design perspective. So here's that. I can kind of sneak that there. Okay, that works. All right, let's see what else I've got. I have a unicorn. Let's see, should I have the unicorn engaging with the dinosaur? That might be an interesting scenario. So we'll do that. I also have a camel, and I've got a little fussy cut cartoon camel in there. So we'll have that going on there. I've got another Band-Aid. Oh, we have, we get points for map paper. and I die cut this arrow, and we get a point for an arrow. I die cut this arrow out of some matte paper, and I'm just going to kind of stick it on someplace. Let me kind of put it at the top of one of these lines of stitching. Okay, so, and it moves because that's what liquid glue does. There's a point for ribbon, and I don't necessarily, in the original, there's some twine kind of sticking out. I thought what I would do is staple this ribbon. I'll staple several layers of it and kind of stick it under the flowers to look like it's coming out of a flower arrangement. We'll see how successful I can be at making that work. I'm going to lift that up, sneak that in, and then I'm going to cut the end pieces at an angle, and okay, and it doesn't hide the airplane in the cloud too much. Okay, so that works. I've got some sequins. Let me put a few sequins about here. I'm going to put one here so that it kind of hides that stitching doesn't go to the point of the row of the heart. See, 1, 2, and let me do another one up here by this little feather. And I said I was going to do one where someplace to bring, I might do one up here. And so that's 4, so let me do a 5th one right there. So let me see if I can remember where all those dots of glue are. And I'm going to go with these yellow sequins because they contrast nicely. Let's see, I've got an extra sequin sneaking a ride in there. Don't want that. Hopefully there's enough adhesive left there to hold that. Okay, now I've got this one right here. I've got another one up here by the doily. That's there. There's some little tiny, tiny, tiny stars in there. Did I get a star on this layout? If not, I may need one of those little tiny stars. Okay, where's the other one? The other dot right here by the feather. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have one down here, but I can maybe do a piece of bling down there. I'm not sure if I have any bling in my bowl, but I kind of know where some is. There's a point for sunshine, and I like this nice die cut sunshine out of some pretty yellow paper that's part of that that line from Dear Lizzie. Get that. I'm going to put that right there. And there was a bunny rabbit point. This is a clear sticker, so I need to have it on white, or as close to white as we can. He's facing this way, so I could put him here, but I'm not sure how that would end up looking. That actually is okay, because it kind of props his head up. It's a little bit like the, like if I were to put a pop dot under to prop his head up, which is something that I do occasionally. Okay, we get a point for a shamrock since it's March. I'm going to maybe put this guy kind of peeking out. Well, I don't like that angled. Let's put it actually on there. I'll let it stay on there. And there's a label point and a silver foil font. I've already got the silver foil. What I'm not seeing is any gold foil, but I can leave that out. This is a label, and I can do, there's the star. Okay, I can do this kind of like that. Oh, let me do it over here so that I don't cover my airplane. Okay. There we go. Let me burnish that in and let it pop up. Okay. There's a Brad point and a camel. I've got a cute little camel here. I could have him kind of looking at these balloons. I think I will do that and let his head kind of touch the balloon. And he kind of gets interfered with by that sequin. I have a tiny, like a top of a pineapple, and that can go maybe peeking out there. Here's where I take just little broken or torn or scrappy things and kind of add them back behind almost as layering elements. There's a frog point, and I haven't got a frog on there. So let's see, where does the frog need to go? We can do the frog this way, so let's let him kind of be going there. And if I curl this up, he's a little bit like he's just jumped on. There is a crown point, and I punched this crown out of a paper and it captured a tiny little starfish. And we get a point for something from under the sea. So I'm going to say that's my starfish. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put this on this very plain star right here that I'm going to journal on. I'll journal off camera. We get points for having a list, and I could possibly do a list here and then write some things, but that's kind of jarring, and I really don't want to add it to that. So I'm going to skip the list point. So another butterfly. Do I have anything puffy on there? I don't think I have anything puffy. I have this kind of, the butterfly's puffy. The butterflies are puffy. Okay, what else do I have? I have a pink enamel dot. I've already got a black enamel dot, so I don't need the pink one. I've got the color pink on there. Oh, football. not quite sure how or why anyone would add a football to this particular layout, but I'm going to do it. Where will I put the football? Maybe right here, kind of under that, with the tie-in that the coronavirus has kind of put Barrett's off-season football activities, kind of put them on hold. He was invited to a tournament. I think that's all the points I have in there. So I'm going to call this finished. The title is Wonderful Life. The journaling is going to be about the fact that in the midst of all the coronavirus stuff, we have a pretty wonderful life because we have this little guy, this little girl, and all of this stuff. You know, we're still having fun. The kids are baking upstairs. It smells wonderful. Let's see. I think there were some other things in here. This tiny little hedgehog. Let's not forget the hedgehog. I'm going to do the hedgehog maybe like walking out from under that heart. That's good. There's an avocado. I'll use the avocado that's oriented this way, and I'll maybe do that, do the avocado there. I think Ava was making some guacamole a while ago, and in keeping with the fact that she used limes, I've got this lime to go kind of right there. Nah, I'm going to do it right here. An avocado and lime. I'll just layer it over the avocado. Okay. And what else? I think I saw, I guess there was a house. Oh, ice cream. We get points for ice cream. This looks like an ice cream bar right here. This one actually is purple. I'm going to, I don't think anyone's had any ice cream bars today, but I'm going to put this maybe kind of overlapping that big purple splotch. What else is, I think there was something else. Oh, this purple camera, but we already have this camera, so we don't need that. There's another hedgehog, gold foil. This heart would give me that gold foil. And I can do it right here. Okay, now I'm going to say I'm finished. I will maybe make my list right here and let that be the journaling. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I know that they get kind of crazy with all the Calvinball points, but it kind of gives you a taste of what Calvinball's about and how you can fit a lot of stuff in. And believe me, if I consulted the rules, we'd be here for another hour or two. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great Sunday. Bye.